Hello, hello, ladies. Happy almost New Year. Doesn't it feel good to be stepping into the new year? I'm very, very, very excited about some things that I've got coming up and some exciting things that will be good for you all as well. So, welcome, welcome. This is our last gut health happy hour of the year. And I haven't done it in a couple weeks, so I might be a little rusty. I'm excited. I'm excited for all of the things that are to come and all of the improvements that are to come, because I know for myself, when I had gut issues, I just couldn't enjoy life the way I wanted to. So, maybe Christmas isn't as fun for you because you don't eat all the food and you are running to the bathroom, or your stomach hurts, or you're so tired that it's hard to get up the energy to enjoy all of the things that the holidays have to offer. And I know I felt like that for decades. So every time I do one of these happy hours, I get excited because I know that somebody is going to start to feel better. Someone is going to take this opportunity to change the trajectory of their life. Because let's face it, it's not just about bloating, heartburn, bowel issues. It's about living life. And I didn't really realize that I wasn't living my life to the fullest until I was able to, after I got rid of my gut issues after 30, 35 years. And it's like a veil is lifted and you can finally see the world as bright as it is, and you can experience all of the things that you want to experience, and you're in a good mood and you can enjoy it and you can appreciate it because you're not worried about your gut. And so I just get really excited to do these in hopes that one or two or three or 10 of you out there are going to take this as an opportunity to start today, turn it around, and start feeling better from here on out every single day. So welcome, welcome. Please let me know in the chat if you can hear me. Did I bring my phone down here? Let me know in the chat if you can see me and you can hear me, because sometimes we have a glitch and there's been a lot of tech glitches lately. And so I worry that there might be a glitch. So let me know in the comments if you can see me, you can hear me. And if Caroline is here, let me know if all is well. If you want me to be able to see your name when you comment, you just have to give permission for me to see your name on my streaming service here, BeLive. So we are going to get into it today. We are going to dive in here in just a minute. Let me just make sure that we are good to go. Now, I think I left my phone, and that is how I can check the comments, unless I can see them here. Let me know in the comments if you can see me, you can hear me. I would be much appreciated. Let's see. Apparently, my brain doesn't work quite as well this holiday week. Can you feel me? Anybody else? Okay, it looks like we are good to go. So we are going to dive into the 4-step process to get rid of gut issues in just weeks. So for those of you who do not know me, my name is Marissa Hughes. I'm a certified transformational nutrition coach specializing in digestive health. I am the founder of the Happy Belly Method, which is the program that I have put together from decades of my own experience, and then going to school to be a certified transformational nutrition coach, working with hundreds of women over the years, and really dialing into exactly the exact process that truly does get rid of gut issues. And whether it be bloating, heartburn, bowel issues, indigestion, stomach pain, IBS, autoimmune symptoms, brain fog, fatigue, joint pain, right? I could go on and on and on. Inflammation. It doesn't matter what your symptoms are, this process will get you feeling better, because there's two parts to why it works for absolutely everyone. I would say 99% of people. because we are actually giving the body the tools that it needs to heal itself. The body has an amazing healing mechanism in it. And we just need to give the body what it needs to heal. And this 4-step process gives the body what it needs to heal. But also, we get to the root cause of your issues. So if you don't know the root cause of your issues, what caused your issues in the first place, they may never get better. And I don't like to say things like that because I don't like to be negative, but I want to stress to you that you may never get better if you don't take the right steps. And the only way you know how to take the right steps is to have a professional guide you. You don't know how to do it yourself because you were never trained, right? You don't go out and try and put a new engine in your car because you're not a trained mechanic. It's the same thing. And that's why people spin their wheels. They get really frustrated because they're not getting any better, even though they're doing all the things that they think are right, going to their doctor, getting a diagnosis, doing the things the doctor says, changing their diet. But why am I not feeling better? Why has it been 1, 2, 3, 10, 20 years that I've had this and I'm not feeling better? So this 4-step process is guaranteed to get you feeling better if you do it and if you put the work in. So again, welcome everybody. Say hello as you're coming on. Give me a hashtag replay. If you are here on the replay, I want to know who's here. And for those of you who have been in this group for a long time, you know me, you know that I have been through gut issues since birth, got rid of them in my 30s, and then basically abandoned my whole restaurant business life. My husband and I have 6 restaurants, to go back to school to make it my life's work to help other women do the exact same thing. So that is what I do now. And that is why I'm here walking you through my exact 4-step process, because I want 2024 to be the year that you enjoy freedom. And freedom means so many different things for so many people. Freedom is my word for 2024 because it can encompass so many things. For me, it's going to mean something different for you. But for a lot of people, what I want it to mean is freedom to go out to dinner and order things off the menu that you want to order without having to run to the bathroom or feel sick for 2 days. I want you to go on vacation and enjoy vacation because you can, because you feel good. The freedom to go to your kids' baseball pizza night and enjoy the pizza with the other parents. That's freedom, right? Freedom to go out to ladies' night and have as much fun as the other ladies you're having because you're not worried about your gut. Those things are all freedom to me. And so when I say gut freedom, I say that a lot. That's what I mean. And it's going to mean something different for everybody. But whatever you want to do, you will have the freedom to do it because you're not worried about what your gut will do, right? So think about how you want to feel in 2024 before we dive in. I just want you to really think about what it's worth to get rid of your gut issues, but not only get rid of your gut issues, like, yeah, that's great. But how about create optimum health? Optimizing your health so you have all day energy, you sleep through the night, your gut is strong so you can eat whatever you want. You don't gain weight anymore. Your inflammation is reduced, your joint pain is reduced, your brain fog is gone, right? And you have that into your 80s and your 90s. Like, that's optimum health. That is my goal for you. So think about that for a moment. Let it sit inside of you. And how do you want to feel in 2024 and beyond? For me, it's freedom. I want to feel freedom. I want to feel freedom to be able to do whatever I want to do without having to worry about my gut. And that is what I've been able to do for the past few years. But I want even more freedom this year because I keep getting better and better and better. And that's exactly what I want for you. So I would love to hear in the chat, how do you want to feel in 24? Do you want to feel light? Do you want to feel energetic? Do you want to feel grateful? Do you want to feel happy? How do you want to feel in 24? Because that's huge. How you want to feel is going to guide what you are going to do to be able to get there, right? So let's dive into the 4-step process to get rid of gut issues in just weeks. And, honestly, I talk to so many of you who have been dealing with gut issues for decades. This is the time. If you do not nip your gut issues in the bud, it will turn into something worse. Your body is giving you signals that something is wrong. If you don't solve it, it will turn into something worse. It will turn into more and more dis-ease. So I really highly recommend that you get out your pen and paper, take some notes, like really make a decision. It really is about making a decision to make this the year you get rid of your gut issues, and it's totally possible. Okay. So we are going to dive in to the 4-step process to get rid of gut issues in just weeks. Feel free to drop any comments or questions in the chat. I will try and keep an eye on the chat, and then we'll do a Q&A at the very end, so you can ask away, write your questions down, and you can ask anything you want. Okay. So how do you know that you are in the right place for this training? Do you have mysterious symptoms? Like, do you have symptoms that seem unrelated to each other, or symptoms that your doctor can't seem to figure out why you have them? Okay. Do you feel fatigued? Do you feel like your body is always trying to keep up? Do you feel like no matter what you do, you just don't have that like excited energy to go out and tackle your day every day? Do you have too many or too few bowel movements? Now, you know, in this group, we are not shy about talking about bowel movements because it's so important. And if you've seen the Bristol stool chart, you want to have number 4 every single day, 1 to 3 times a day. If you do not have that, number 4, snake-like formed bowel movement every day, something is wrong. Something needs to be addressed. So if you have too many and they're loose or they're watery, or you have too few and you go every other day or only once a week, there's something going on. Do you react to certain foods? Like, do you get heartburn after you eat? Do you get bloated after you eat? Do you get stomach aches after you eat? Do you break out in a rash sometimes? Like, do you react to certain foods? Then you're in the right place. Do you have anxiety, feel anxious, have trouble sleeping, some depression symptoms, anything like that? That gut-brain connection is so strong. I don't think a lot of people connect those things together, but you're definitely in the right place if you're feeling like that. Do you worry about your health or about your kids' health? How many are moms out there? Put mom in the comments if you are a mother. I think sometimes we worry about our kids' health even more than our own health. Probably most of the time, probably 99% of the time. And the worry is worse for you sometimes than the actual health problem. So if you're worried about your health, you're worried about your kids' health, we need to get you guys feeling better, to get the worry gone. The worry can actually make things worse. Do you have extra stubborn weight, particularly around the belly? So comment belly if you feel like you have weight around the belly that you cannot get rid of no matter what you do. So common, but we're going to go over that. Do you want to live an energetic life, disease-free? Like, doesn't that sound amazing? So my goal is to not only lengthen your lifespan. The lifespan is the amount of years you live. Your health span is the amount of pain-free, disease-free years you live. So you could live to be 90, but maybe the last 20 years, you are on a bunch of meds. You can't go do the things you want to do. You have a handful of different afflictions. You're at the doctor's office all the time. Like, that's not really living a wonderful, beautiful life, right? What if you could live up until the very end, pain and disease free? That's the goal. And do you wish you just had a plan that works? Like, let's say your goal is to, get rid of your constipation and your heartburn this year. But you wake up every day going, I don't really know what to do. It's my goal. I want to do it. I feel like I'm doing the right things, but there's no plan in place to get you there. It'd be like building a house, but there's no plans. You just start piling up wood and going, well, I think 2x4s go here. There's always a plan to build a house. There's always a plan to build a business. There's always a plan for vacation. There's a plan for everything, right? You need a plan for your health. Your health is the most important thing to have a plan for, right? There's nothing more important than that. So if any of those ring a bell to you, you are in the right place. So this was me in my early 20s, and now that's me in my mid 40s. Like, world of difference. I feel like I aged backwards. I have way more energy. I don't get bloated. I'm not constipated anymore. I used to be so nauseous, you guys. Every single day of my life, I felt like I was going to throw up all day, every day. like literally felt like I was going to throw up. I never did, but I always felt like it. And I was always looking for the nearest bathroom. And that's not normal. I ended up having really bad adult acne, like so bad I didn't leave the house sometimes. I had really bad anxiety, like that kind where you feel like you have to catch your breath all the time. I don't know if you guys have ever experienced that. And then I could not sleep all night long. I could sleep until noon once I finally fell asleep. And then I was exhausted all day and then couldn't sleep at night. I was all over the place. And this happened from birth. I had gut issues from birth into my 30s. And now I have no gut issues. I have all day energy. I have that good mood because that veil is lifted of those gut issues. I can eat what I want. Now, granted, 80 to 90% of the time, I choose to eat the things that are best for my body because that is what gives me the freedom to 10, 20% eat what I want, right? So it's not like I just go out and eat pizza every single day of my life, but I have the ability to eat what I want because I have gotten my body so strong that it can digest anything now. And that it's possible for anybody. I have totally regular bowel movements every single day of my life, even on vacation, even after Thanksgiving dinners. And I don't gain weight and my belly is flat. Even when I'm PMSing, on vacation, drinking alcohol, eating cheeseburgers and fries, the belly stays flat because my digestion works. My body is so strong in its digestion and in its processes and my cellular integrity is so strong that these things can come its way and it doesn't matter. Right? But I'm also the biggest thing, hopeful that I am not going to get a bunch of diseases and not be able to run around with my grandkids when I'm 85 years old. That's my hope for myself. What do you hope for yourself? And are you able to be hopeful for that? So here's the problem with what people are doing. And this is what I did for many, many, many years, why I never felt better until I really took things into my own hands and totally changed my life. But this is what everyone is doing. And I know this because I have hundreds of conversations with you ladies in this group. And so I know exactly what everyone is doing and I know exactly what is not working. Here's what's not working. Going to the doctor and getting colonoscopies and endoscopies and blood tests and all the things that your doctors are doing, and they give you a prescription for it. They tell you to take more fiber and drink more water, right? Like, put doctor in the comments if that sounds familiar to you. And they give you an antacid or an acid blocker, and they just tell you to take that every day and eat more fiber. Like that's the order of operations. Well, none of those things are working. There's so much more going on in the body than what you can tell from a blood test, an endoscopy, and a colonoscopy. And they're not getting to the root cause of your issues. The medication might cover up your heartburn, but whatever's causing the heartburn to happen is still happening. So your body's still getting worse. Meanwhile, you're just taking something that covers up the symptom, right? So the over-the-counter, the meds, the supplements, the drinking more water, which of course drinking more water is great. Fiber is probably going to be good for you, but not Metamucil. That stuff is not good for you, but that's what everybody takes, right? And then making some dietary changes, like maybe you do an elimination diet. Like a lot of people are like, well, tomatoes bother me, so I take out tomatoes. Why do tomatoes bother you? Right? People are like, well, salads bother me, raw vegetables bother me, so I just don't eat them. Raw vegetables are so good for you. I want you to eat raw vegetables. So just taking them out isn't getting to the root cause. It's not solving anything, right? So this is kind of the tip of the iceberg. This is what most people are doing. And then this is what's really going to move the needle and get you feeling better quickly, getting to the root cause of your issues. Your body probably has toxins in it that we need to get rid of. You probably have a lack of stomach acid, not too much stomach acid. You probably have a bacterial imbalance. The good and the bad are not in a good balance. You might have a sluggish liver or gallbladder, and the liver and the gallbladder are essential for helping you. Well, they're essential for the liver is like, it's the workhorse of our body. But as far as we're talking about digestion, it's essential for being able to digest fats, amongst many other things. Leaky gut Probably if you were in this group, you probably have it. Vagus nerve damage, the nerve that talks back and forth from your gut to your brain all day long, millions of times a day, every day. If there's any kind of vagus nerve dysfunction, then you're going to have some gut issues. Any kind of trauma, physical, mental, emotional trauma. Pancreatic insufficiency, nutrient deficiency, which 90% of people in America are nutrient deficient. So probably if you're in this group, you probably have 3 to 4 to all of these root causes. Now, I'm calling these root causes because these are the real things we need to address to get you feeling better. But there is a deeper root cause to all of these things. So this is what I do. I am a little detective and I help you figure out what your root cause is. We address it there. And so all of these things that are hidden underneath, now we can let those go. These are all gone. Now those things that were on that last slide, the tip of the iceberg, now those things can actually help you. The supplements can help you. The fiber can help you. Going to see your doctor can actually be helpful. Once we get to the root cause and get your body working right again, then everything else that you're doing is going to be more impactful. So this is what I've based, and this is years and years of experience. This is what the 4 things that I have come to a realization that we must have these 4 things to build your health home strong. So when you think about getting healthy, think about it as building a house. And if you were going to build your dream home that you're going to live in for the rest of your life, let's say someone said you could only have one home the rest of your life, AKA your body, right? How strong would you build it? What would you do? Would you just take like some duct tape and some twigs and kind of put them up and tape them together? Or would you lay a strong foundation, build the pillars of the house with strong, whatever they build pillars out of, right? And then when you put the roof on, that roof is going to stay up because all your pillars are so strong. Think about your health home like that. When we're building your health home, these are the 4 pillars we need to create that strong home. And then think of a storm coming. Your home that you just built is never going to get knocked down by a storm, right? Because you built it strong. Well, that's what we want to do with our body. So when you go on vacation and you eat crappy foods, or you get some kind of virus, or you have a trauma happen in your life, or whatever the million things are that happen to us every day, your health home is so strong. It's like, I can handle that. Don't care. Totally bring it on. That food will get digested well. We can handle this trauma and move on. We can get this virus, kick it out of the body and move past it, right? Whatever the things are. So we have to get our nutrients. We have to balance our gut microbiome. We have got to get rid of the toxins that are lurking in the body and creating inflammation. And we need the gut and the brain to have a very healthy, happy relationship. These are the essential pillars of any health home. Okay, so we're going to dive into what that means. So a lot of people have changed their diet, and they come to me and they're like, Marissa, I don't know what is going on, but I changed my diet. I eat so healthy. Like, I have clients come to me that eat healthier than I do, but they still don't feel good. Why? Well, because their other pillars are down here and their roof has fallen down. Now the storm comes and their house crumbles. So we have to have all 4 pillars strong. So pillar number 1. Now this seems obvious, I'm sure, to most people. Of course we need nutrition, right? But here's the deal. Only 1 in 10 Americans gets the minimum amount of suggested vitamins and minerals from their food. Minimum, not optimum. Minimum. Do you want minimum health or optimum health? I would like optimal health. But only 1 in 10 even gets the minimum. That's very scary because your body simply cannot work right without vitamins and minerals. So there are many reasons for this. Number 1 being, well, not number 1. Number 1 being people are eating too many food-like substances. There are so many foods out there that don't even qualify as real food anymore. So many packaged foods, so many fast foods. These things have so many chemicals and they're so processed that your body doesn't even recognize them as food anymore. They're totally nutrient deficient. And that's an obvious one. Like, if you eat a ton of processed food and fast foods, you're probably not going to be healthy, right? Like, that's obvious. I think we all understand that. But our soil, so all this food in the picture, right? Like, oh my gosh, that looks wonderful. Well, that looks like it's from a farm, a local farm. Our soil now is so severely depleted. So if you are just buying food at the grocery store, which of course, that's where we all get our food, it is 40% less nutrient dense than it was 40 years ago, at least, because our soil is not nutrient dense anymore, and we are only as healthy as our soil. So I want you to think about that big, bold statement. We are only as healthy as our soil. If the soil is depleted, the food is depleted, the animals that eat the food are depleted. So the animals that we're eating are depleted, but we are also eating the food, so we are depleted. And it just keeps going around in a circle. So we need to intentionally eat food that is grown in mineral-rich soil without chemicals and pesticides that will leach the minerals from your body. Leaky gut and other gut issues make absorbing nutrients extremely challenging. So all these people that come to me and say, I eat so healthy, I don't know what's going on. Well, if you damaged your gut in your teens, 20s, 30s, but you never repaired it, then all that healthy food you're eating is going right out. Your gut lining is not grabbing on and absorbing the nutrients. So you think you're doing the right thing, and you are doing the right thing. But if you haven't actually repaired the damage that was done a long time ago, then you actually are wasting your time and energy on eating this food, and it's going right through your body, which is why I know a lot of people who eat healthy and have totally liquid bowel movements every single day. They're like, but I eat healthy, so I think I'm healthy. Well, if you have gut issues like that, your body is not absorbing those nutrients. So your cells, every cell of your body is going to be depleted. And then some people just simply don't have enough access to fresh organic produce, right? Some people really don't. Some people shop at the Dollar Tree. That's their local grocery store. And then there's also too much misinformation out there about food. Like, I don't know about you, and my Instagram feed is tailored for me. So of course I see every post from every health coach in the world. And there are people out there saying, don't eat vegetables. There are people out there saying, don't eat meat. They're saying, don't eat eggs, don't eat whole grains, that, milk is bad for you. Milk is good for you. Meat is the only thing you should eat. Vegetables, right? There's so much information out there, and so much of it is misinformation, and so much of it is to make people money. And how are you supposed to know what's true, right? So for all of these reasons, this is a health crisis in America. So we've got to get your nutrition optimum. So pillar number 2 is the gut microbiome. So we are actually more bacterial cells than we are human cells, which is a crazy thing to think about. We think we're human and that we have a little bit of bacteria that lives in our gut. Our bacterial cells way outnumber our human cells, which is a crazy thing to think about. 100 trillion bacteria, right? And these are essential for every process in the body. Our bacteria help us digest food, create nutrients, balance hormones. They are neurotransmitters to our brain. Reduce inflammation, protect you from leaky gut. Like, everything that happens in the body relies on bacteria. So over the years, and this can happen from birth, if you are born C-section and the doctor doesn't do anything to inoculate you, then your gut microbiome will be depleted. Now, it can be built up, but everything that happens from birth affects your microbiome. Every round of antibiotics. Yes, even as a baby, even as a child. So many people are like, oh, well, I had a ton of ear infections as a kid, but I haven't had any antibiotics in the last 5 years or so. Well, every round of antibiotics affects your microbiome. And unless we build it back up, it's going to keep getting depleted. Now, think about your gut as having parking spaces, and you want every parking space full of the good, beneficial bacteria. Now, the bad bacteria, quote unquote, it can live in there in small amounts. It can come in and it can go out. It can actually live in there in a little bit, and it's fine. It actually some of them have good jobs that they do in small amounts. But if too many of the good guys leave too many parking spaces open, there's only room for a certain amount, the bad guys will come in and take those parking spots. Now, when the pathogenic bacteria come in and take over, that's when we can experience a complete breakdown in the whole health process. Inflammation, poor digestion, leaky gut. The list goes on and on and on. We need our good bacteria to protect us. So antibiotics, chemicals in our water and in our food, glyphosate, which is the main ingredient in Roundup, which is sprayed on all of our food in America. And even if you eat organic, sadly, even organic food now tests positive for glyphosate because of neighboring farms. So it's found on nearly all food tested, in all Americans' urine, and even in most of the umbilical cords tested. So babies are being born with glyphosate in their body. Now, glyphosate acts as an antibiotic in your body. It kills your good gut bacteria. It is directly linked to leaky gut and even cancer. So we actively have to be doing something about glyphosate. Too much sugar, the sugar feeds those pathogenic bacteria. And those guys, if you have severe sugar cravings, it's probably that bacteria going, where's my sugar? It's telling you that you need sugar. Stress is one of the most overlooked things as far as our gut microbiome goes, and just our gut in general and our health in general. Stress depletes the good microbiome. Lack of sleep, same thing. We've got to get a good 7 to 9 hours of deep restorative sleep at the proper time of the evening for our body to do all of its processes. And then just a lack of fresh foods. Like, every plant is going to feed your microbiome, and people just simply are not eating enough plants. So all of these factors lead to dysbiosis, which basically just means an imbalance of good and bad bacteria in the gut. And that's when the cascade of health issues start to happen, is when we have dysbiosis. So pillar number 3, detoxification. Now, our body has a wonderful, wonderful process of detoxification. Absolutely. But if our organs are overloaded with too many toxins, then they start to build up in the body, right? So we're surrounded by toxins. There's toxins in water. There's toxins in our clothes. There's toxins in the air we breathe. But in particular, our beauty products are horrible. Our cleaning products are horrible. Processed foods, horrible. Again, stress, lack of sleep. So if you were just using 1 or 2 products per day that were toxic, or maybe just eating 1 or 2 foods here and there, that'd be one thing. But if you add up every beauty product, which I think the estimation is something like 130 different chemicals per day women are putting on their skin, beauty products, cleaning products, all the packaged foods, the tap water, everything combined, our toxic load bucket fills up. Like, you can put some things in your toxic load bucket, and then your body will dump it out at night in the sleep. But if the bucket is too full and your body can only dump out a little bit in the sleep, then I don't know why I'm saying in the sleep. You know what I'm saying? Then your bucket gets too full and it starts to overflow. Well, now the toxins need to be stored somewhere. So they get stored in your fat cells, which is probably why you have stubborn fat that you can't get rid of. And in particular, belly fat, because your belly fat is protecting your vital organs. So your belly fat will store toxins in it so that your organs don't get toxic. So that belly fat is very smart. Your body is always, always protecting you. And that's a very smart thing that it does. So we need to detox to get our cells back healthy and working again. Because if your cells are full of toxins, your body is going to be fighting all the time. And that's why there's chronic inflammation. So we need to detox what we eat, what we breathe, what we put on our skin. We need to get rid of pathogenic bacteria, parasites, viruses. Now, again, we have them living in us in small amounts, but if they're allowed to take over, we've got to get them out. We also have physical, mental, emotional toxicity that we need to address. Glyphosate, like we've already discussed, it goes in and it has a huge effect if we're not actively detoxing it. And then on top of that, if you're putting toxins into your body and you have leaky gut, the toxins are meant to go in and then be excreted out the body. But if you have leaky gut and you've got some damage going on and your gut, your small tight junctions are now open, now the toxins get through your gut into your bloodstream that's when you can have things like thyroid problems and joint pain and brain fog and autoimmune issues, because now the toxins are just circulating through your body. So we need to stop putting the toxins in and actively be supporting our detox organs and processes to be getting them out on the daily. And then finally, pillar number 4 is the gut-brain connection. And then we're going to put this all together after this pillar. So the vagus nerve is a nerve that connects from your brain and it fingers down through your organs. And there are neurotransmitters that transmit information back and forth at lightning speed all day long, from your gut to your brain and back and forth. And they're calling your gut your second brain because there's a whole system down there that is so similar to the brain. And some people actually are thinking it's truly your first brain. So that's why we need to take care of our guts a lot more than we are. So the vagus nerve, if there's any dysfunction in that nerve, you're going to have some interrupted signaling. So gut bacteria do the communicating bidirectionally. So it's not just that your brain tells your gut what to do. Your gut tells your brain what to do. It's very fascinating. If you ever have like butterflies in your stomach, that's your brain telling you you're nervous and creating those butterflies in your stomach. Like your thoughts are always creating your reality in your digestion, which is why. So for instance, picture right now, picture cutting open a lemon and then taking a big bite of that lemon. What just happened? Did all that saliva just come out? That's your brain telling your body that you're about to eat that lemon. So it tells the saliva to get released. The saliva has enzymes in it that help you start to break down food. That will signal your stomach acid and your pancreatic enzymes to get released, and the whole process happens. So for anyone who thinks that your brain is not in charge or your thoughts are not in charge of your physical body, that is proof right there that it truly is. So dysfunction can happen from trauma, being in constant fight or flight, which most people are now. You know, we've got 24/7 news, we've got a pandemic. For some reason, raising kids seems to be like way more stressful than it ever has. We have just so many things going on right now. And it's almost like we're all living, even if you have a good life and it's not super stressful, it almost seems like everyone is just living a little bit more in fight or flight than we ever have. And so constantly being in fight or flight is going to create some dysfunction, like your body can't keep up. Dysbiosis of the gut, again, like we talked about, sometimes I see people have 0 of certain neurotransmitters that are most important in talking to your brain. So if you don't have those neurotransmitters, that connection is not happening. That's when you can have massive anxiety and depression and all the things like that. So we need intentional practices to regulate this communication. It doesn't just happen. You know, it's all, our grandparents never had to worry about most of this stuff because there was no glyphosate. There wasn't a Wendy's on every corner. There wasn't just massive amounts of packaged foods. People ate fresh foods. They didn't have 24/7 news. It was a simpler time, and we've really kind of ruined that. So it's almost impossible to just live simply now unless you just go buy a plot of land and raise your own cattle and raise your own vegetables. So we need to intentionally be improving our gut-brain connection. So we're going to bring this all together. I'm going to tell you exactly how I take all of those very important pieces of the puzzle and put them all together in my simply laid out 4-step process in the Happy Belly method. So number 1, when we were talking about nutrition and I said the soil is depleted, there's glyphosate in everything, and we just don't eat enough fresh fruits and vegetables, right? Well, that is why this is what I use every single day of my life. So does my family, most of my friends, and all of my clients, is we have a power shake every day. So this is certified organic. It's grown in mineral-rich soil, watered with purified water, certified, tested, glyphosate-free. There's 0 additives, real food, 100% real food shakes, and it's the equivalent of 6 superfood salads in each shake. So there's no way you could possibly eat that many salads, and plus your body wouldn't be able to digest it. This food is basically pre-digested. It's dehydrated right at the peak nutrient dense time, and it's dehydrated in such a way that as soon as you put water in it, it activates those living enzymes, and it's very easy on your body to digest. And so if you have gut issues, every time you put food into your body that you have to chew and break down, you're putting your body through struggle. If your body is struggling to break down food, you got to give it a break. You got to give it a little bit of a break. And so having this shake every day is going to give you your nutrients. It's going to start to balance that gut microbiome. It's going to detox your organs, and it's going to start giving your body a break from the very energy consuming process of digestion. Like, it's the difference you can feel almost after one power shake is truly amazing. So that's where we start with getting all of our nutrients in. And then we also just eat clean, organic fruits and vegetables and nuts and seeds and, pasture raised chicken and grass fed beef and wild caught fish and just anything that comes from the earth, we put into our body in addition to our Purion power shakes. And then we test the gut microbiome. So for us to really be able to know what is going on with you and how to address it, we're totally guessing unless we do this gut test. This gut test will tell us if you have too few good bacteria, and we can see exactly the ones that you're missing. If you have too many pathogenic bacteria, we have to address those pathogens before we do anything else. We got to get the bad guys out of those parking spots, right? And get them out of the body. We can see if you're not digesting protein well, if you're not digesting carbohydrates well, if you're not getting rid of hormones quickly enough, if you don't have those neurotransmitters for the gut-brain activity. So there's so much we can tell on this test. Without taking this test, we're totally guessing at what to do moving forward. This way, it's not a guess. I work with a professional from Microbiome Labs. We put together a personalized protocol just for you. And once you implement that, it's like being able to see a picture of your gut, and you know exactly what is going on. So we address pathogens, we address the imbalances, we address what's going on in your digestive process with your protocol, which is specific foods, specific supplements, specific behaviors. There are so many things that go into each individual's protocol, and it's quite specific for each individual. I've never had two people with the same protocol, although I did have a married couple that had almost the exact same gut test, which was, you would think that would be normal, but there's so many other factors that go in all the way since childhood, since birth, that was alarming to me. Not in a bad way, but it was just kind of crazy. But those people still had different protocols because they had a few different markers going on in their tests. So I've never had anyone with the same protocol. So it is very specific. And then my coaching, so we worked together for 16 weeks, and you've got me in your back pocket. And I have experience of working with hundreds of women. I have experience of recreating my own health from the ground up and feeling amazing. I've put everything I've learned through my journey into the Happy Belly Method portal. So you have all the information in very bite-sized, simple steps, and you get a little check mark. So you know exactly what to be doing in between our sessions together. And you go through and you go, oh, okay, watch this video, check mark, do this, check mark. And you just go through the portal. And by the end of the portal, you will have all the information you need to keep yourself healthy. Like, unlike doctors, I don't want you to have to keep coming back to me year after year after year. I want you to get better in this 4 months. And then you might need some additional support along the way. We all do. I have a coach all the time. But I don't want you to have to need me. I want you to know how to take care of yourself. And then we do a group coaching call on Zoom. So all the ladies can come every week. You don't have to come every week, but it's great to come and get support on whatever you're going through, support the other ladies in the group, ask questions. You can learn from the other ladies in the group. I learn things still all the time. And so we also celebrate wins every week, because that's something that we as women don't do enough, is celebrate ourselves and pat ourselves on the back for the good things that we're doing. So it's a really impactful session to be in that session with all the women each week. And then I teach virtual Pilates right here in this studio. So all you need is a mat. There are classes that use equipment, but all you need is a mat, and we work on flexibility and mobility and core strength and spine health and protecting your joints. And Pilates is just so amazing Plus, you get an hour of breath work in there. So you bring all this wonderful oxygen into your body. You feel so energized afterwards. Like the feeling after Pilates is sort of euphoric because you brought so much oxygen into your body. And so I teach virtually. My classes are twice a week, but then you also get all my recordings as well. And then you also get access to Engage Fitness, which is a whole collective of people that I teach with. So you get live kickboxing, yoga, dance fitness, weights, HIIT classes, like anything you can think of pretty much. You have access to all of that. So just, a few testimonials of people who've gone through the 4-step process. And this is just after weeks sometimes. So this was Jessica, who'd been in and out of the emergency room for about a month. And she kept going in, and they kept sending her home. They said all of her tests were normal. And finally, her husband got a hold of me. He was so distraught. He thought she was going to die. And we got her feeling better in just a couple of weeks. Like she never went back to the emergency room. She doesn't have the stomach issues anymore. She has none of those issues anymore. And she's saying after 2.5 years, she almost gave up. So this program really means a lot. And I mean, that's huge. They both thought she was going to die. And she actually just texted me today. So just amazing things can happen. And then this is just in the first 30 days of Karen being in the Happy Belly Method. She lost 10 pounds. Her inflammation markers all went way down. She's got RA, so her inflammation was really important. Her CRP went down. Her cholesterol went down, 198 to 135. She got into a normal BMI within 30 days. And she started sleeping through the night for the first time and started having her digestion not bother her for the first time. And she had been through every single thing you could possibly think of in the world. I've got a whole interview with her in the group, in the featured posts, if you want to see. It's just a snippet of the interview, but she had tried everything. People come to me and they always say, I've tried everything, nothing works. And then they do my program and get just amazing results. So if you want to put all 4 of those pillars together, all the things that we talked about, it may seem overwhelming to do yourself. So you can work with me in the Happy Belly Method. I would be thrilled to have you. And 2023 pricing is only good for a couple of more days. So I provide you with 60 superfood meals plus gut health supplements. We do the microbiome testing. Plus I do a consultation with the lab professional, create a personalized protocol for you. We work together 4 times one-on-one to go over your protocol, anything that you need to work through. Plus you get the 16 weeks of the weekly calls, the accountability, the motivation, all of the things that you really need to keep going. You get the online gut health portal that I created, the unlimited Pilates, unlimited other fitness classes, an exclusive client discount on professional grade supplements. Please stop throwing your money away on grocery store supplements or Costco supplements. They are not worth your money. And then we have a private Facebook group where, you can ask questions and you just get all that good accountability and support. So $7,200 value. And for 2023 pricing, I'm offering for 4 payments of $797. And so that includes all of this. Like it's actually quite a good deal, and pricing is going to go up on January 1st. So if you have questions about any of that, please let me know. Here's to a happy, healthy 2024. So let's check the comments here and see if there's any questions. I will open it up to any questions that you guys have. And we'll drop a link to book a call. So it's really simple. If you want to just find out if it's a good fit, I can learn more about you and more about your issues to see if I can help. Then you just book a quick 15-minute call. We'll just see if it's a good fit. And then if it is, and we want to talk further, we'll book another call from there. But we'll drop the link to book a call here in the comments. And then also I created a guide just for this training that takes all of this and puts it into a really pretty nice guide for you. So you can have it at home and you can go back through it and see the exact steps that it really takes to get rid of your gut issues. So if you want the guide, just put guide in the comments. And my wonderful assistant, Caroline, will send that over to you. Otherwise, I don't see any questions. I don't see any questions. So if you do have questions, feel free to put them right under this video. If you're watching on the replay, I will go back and answer any questions that you all have. And feel free to book a call anytime. So I do encourage you to take advantage of these prices right now, get started in the new year, and by spring, you could be rid of your gut issues and have energy and be excited for what's to come in the rest of your life. So I really, really commend you all for being here. I appreciate you all being here. I know it's not the most fun thing to do when we are celebrating and in holiday mode. So anyone who showed up today, I give you a big, huge high five, and I want you to pat yourselves on the back, because just showing up means that you want to take care of yourself, which is amazing. So I love you all. Happy, happy New Year. I wish you all happy and healthy 2024. Please reach out if you need anything, and I will see you soon.